execute cycle. The fetch, decode and execute cycle is the main job of your computer. At every point in time, your computer is fetching information, decoding that information and executing the information. Okay, so we can also say the computer is getting instructions, the computer is decoding the instruction, and the computer is executing the instruction. So there's a cycle. Every time your system is on, this cycle remains constant until you put off your system. Including putting off your system is also another cycle that it has to go through to shut down your system. So this is the cycle. We have the control unit at the top there, we have the ALU, we have the registers. Remember that the components of your CPU are mainly the control units, the ALU and the registers. We have always known the registers as the temporary storage in the central processing unit. Please, the RAM is not part of your central processing unit. It's part of the fetch, decode and execute cycle. Now I'm going to go straight to the point. What exactly is this fetch, execute cycle and how does it work? Every information that is stored in your system or that you can see on your screen, all of them comes from the RAM and the central processing unit. So the RAM forms a major part of your system. That's why we call it the main memory. The main memory. Understand this. The RAM stores instructions. The RAM stores processes, the RAM stores instructions that are supposed to be executed while your system is on. Your hard disk is your hard disk, stores information permanently. Anything that is there is not being executed except you load it. By clicking on it, it will go to the RAM. Now the fetch, decode and execute cycle follows this principle, the principle of making sure that instructions come in, first out or last in, first out, depending on how your system is built. Usually it is first in, first out. Okay, so how do we mean? The RAM stores addresses, memory addresses. The RAM stores addresses of instructions. The RAM stores instructions in those addresses. So it means that there is an address in the RAM, there is a memory location in the RAM, and then there is an instruction in that memory location. Okay, let's say that again. Let's go again. There is an address in the RAM, and then there are instructions in that address. There is an address in the RAM and there are instructions in that address. So I'm going to go straight to the point to show you how the fetch and execute cycle works. Now, it is very important for you to just know that if you are asked to explain the fetch, decode and execute cycle, you can simply say that when a program is being executed, nobody wants you to say long stories. Remember, WAEC does not want you to say long stories now. So just go straight to the point, name the things you're supposed to name. When a program is being executed, it fetches instructions, it fetches addresses from the RAM, fetches addresses from the RAM, fetches instructions from the RAM, decodes the RAM. Who is there?
Let's see, that's going strong. Inside.
Much you are disturbing me. You are disturbing me. I don't like it. You disturb me. I don't like it. If it's not a way to scatter your style. So when this information in the RAM is fetched through the address in the RAM, the next thing that happens is that the information is decoded. The information is decoded by the control unit. The information is decoded by the control unit. Remember, the register is a temporary storage for the CPU. Temporary storage for the CPU. So each of this information that is fetched stays in the registers, and then the control unit decodes the information, and the ALU executes the information, or rather the instruction. So we can say that again. Let's go again. There is an address, there is also an instruction. All these are located in the random access memory. Now, the registers in the central processing unit communicate with the RAM to receive this address and also to receive the instruction. And then this instruction is decoded by the control unit and then executed by the ALU. Simple and short. But the problem comes when you are asked to mention the registers that are involved in these processes. Now, remember that there are so many registers that are available in the central processing unit, but the ones we are going to be talking about, we are going to cover in this video, are the ones that are responsible for the task of the fetch, decode, and execute cycle. Almost all of them are responsible, but we are going to go to the nitty-gritty of the registers that are responsible for the fetch, decode cycle. Okay, so let's look at this. So first of all, we have a simple list here: fetch, execute, cycle steps, and then we have the simplified description. We have already said all of this without mentioning the registers. Okay, so I'm going to explain this table and explain what these registers do. Okay, first of all, remember we said that there's an address and then there's an instruction in the RAM. Now, the registers collect this address and also collect the instruction. So the first step is this: the program counter will collect or will fetch. Let's use the word fetch. The program counter in the central processing unit, the program counter is a register, will fetch instruction from the RAM. It will fetch an address, rather, not an instruction. It will fetch an address, the address of the next instruction from the RAM, and then it will store this address inside the memory address register. So we have the program counter fetching the address for the next instruction. Then this address is stored in the memory address register. So you can see program counter copies address to the memory address register. Now, it doesn't just stop there. The next thing that will happen is that it will go back to that address in the RAM and fetch the instruction. It will fetch the instruction. Oh, let me color that blue. It will fetch the instruction. It will remember. Oh, okay. Let's do this like this. So remember that there's an address. There's an address, and then there's an instruction. So the program counter will fetch the address and also fetch the instruction in this address and put them in the memory data register. Memory data register. I don't have time to start typing these registers. The memory data register. So we have the PC program counter that comes up in the first step, and then we have the memory address register that comes up in the second step. The function of the memory address register is to store the address of the next instruction. Now, the function of the memory data register is to store the instruction that is contained in the address register. So the instruction in the address register is stored in the memory data register. So you don't store instruction inside an address register. You store the instruction in the memory data register. Now, The content of this instruction that is in the memory data register is copied in current instruction register. Oh, look at that. So we have mentioned another one again. Current instruction register comes up in step and start counting. We have the program counter for step 1, the memory address register for step 2, the memory data register for step 3, the current instruction register. Don't just memorize these things. I want you to visualize them. I want you to see how these things work. See how these things work, and try to find programs, try to find instances even with your phone and your devices to understand how these things work. Remember, I can go through that again. I don't want this video to take too long. I can go through that again by just using the simplified description. PC program counter has address of next instruction. Program counter copies this address to memory address register. Now there is a lookup for the memory address register's contents. It is copied into the memory data register. You can always repeat this video if you miss anything. Repeat, pause. You can decide to play it slowly if you like. Now the contents of the memory data register is copied into the current instruction register, CIR. Current instruction register. That is the fetch cycle. That is the fetch cycle. So you can see that all we have been doing is to go somewhere, that is the RAM, to get instructions that are in the RAM. The fetch cycle gets instructions from the RAM, and now once it is inside the current instruction register, the cycle is complete, and then the program counter is incremented by 1. Incrementation by 1 means that it is going to go for the next instruction. So while we increment it by 1, we now expect the control unit to decode and execute our program. So that's in step 5. I will repeat that step 5 again. Once the current instruction register receives the content of the instructions that are supposed to be decoded and executed, the fetch and execute cycle increases the program counter by 1. Okay, let's say we have 0000 as the first address in the program counter. Once it is done with the first fetch cycle, it is increased by 1. Once it is increased by 1, the instruction is finally, so we'll go to step 6, the instruction is finally decoded and then executed by sending out signals through the control bus to the various components of the computer. The instruction is finally decoded and executed. Remember, I said it is decoded by the control unit and executed by the arithmetic logic unit. If it's an arithmetic work, the arithmetic logic will do that. If it is a logic work, most things that happens in the computer are mainly arithmetic and logical operations. So now, once the program counter is incremented by 1, then the next thing that will happen, that's in step 6, I want to repeat that again, is that the instruction is finally decoded. And then how does the system or the control unit do this? By using the control bus to communicate to the various components of the computer. We have the input components, we have the output components. The instruction is decoded and executed. It is the function of the control bus to decide how these instructions are executed. So that is the fetch and execute cycle. So the registers that are involved in this fetch, execute and decode cycles are the program counter, the memory address register, the memory data register, the current instruction register. So these are the 4 registers that are involved in the fetch, decode and execute cycle. So we'll go back to this cycle again. So please, if you're told to draw this cycle, this is how to draw it. The control unit, the registers, anyhow you mix it, make sure that the ones that contain the code is the one that stays in between the registers and the control unit. The one that should contain execute is the one that stays in between the control unit and the ALU, and then your RAM stays away. Your RAM stays away because the system fetches information from your RAM. Thank you very much. We are going to run through the summary of this lesson by these points. The summary of the fetch: the processor checks the program counter to see which instruction to run next. The program counter gives an address value in the memory of where the next instruction is. The processor fetches the instruction value from this memory location. The instruction has been fetched. Once it has been fetched, it needs to be decoded and executed. And then the fifth one, once this is complete, the processor goes back to the program counter to find the next instruction. This cycle is repeated until the program ends. So I think that is it. I believe that this video has solved our problem of the fetch, decode and execute cycle.